friends, welcome to Science Tutor. Let's discuss the significance of the periodic table. In this section, we shall be considering the periodic table at large and also how to identify the blocks in the periodic table. Now, as an introduction, this is simply a simple structure of the periodic table and how it looks. Now, we are going to be stating the groups for each of them. Now, many times students will always encounter this as far as the periodic table is concerned. Now, how do we identify the groups? The first one, we have this to be 1. This signifies 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 of 0. Now, the groups are simply indicated group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 0. The groups are always identified by the vertical columns. For example, we have the vertical columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in essence, it simply means we have 8 vertical columns that we call groups. And then the horizontal rows, there are 7 in number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 7 for modern periodic table, that is the full details of the periodic table, we have 7 horizontal rows. And then the 8 vertical columns are called the groups. So the periodic table consists of groups and periods. Groups 1, 2, 3 down to 0, and then the periods 1, 2, 3 down to 7. That shows the groups and the period. For the purpose of this video, I shall be taking you through the blocks. Beginning with the first one, we have what we call the S, P, D, and F. S, P, D, F. And the word acronym, it simply means S for sharp, P is for principal, D is for diffuse, and F is for fundamental. So sharp, principal, diffuse, and fundamental. How do we identify these with respect to the periodic table? Now, for the S block, the S block simply consists of group 1 and group 2. So elements that make up group 1 and 2, they are known as the S block. So in essence, it means group 1 and 2 elements makes up the S block electron. So they form the S block, and the reason is because they consist of S electrons in the outermost shell. So group 1 and 2, they are known as the S block. The S block. Moving to the P block ranges from the elements that consist of from group 3 to 7 and 0. So elements consisting of the P block, they range from group 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 0. So in essence, I'm going to term these as my P block. So elements that fall within this block, we call them the P block. And they are known as the P block because they consist of the S and also the P electrons in their outermost shell. For example, let's pick an element such as carbon. Carbon number 6 element having atomic number 6. If I'm to write the electronic configuration, 1s2, 2s2, 4 is gone, remaining 2, 2p2. This is the electronic configuration of carbon. Now that is to say that when you consider the outermost block, you can see we have the P block. So because it ends with a P, P is at the outermost shell of the atom. So the block that is on the outside is P. That makes these elements present here to be P block. And that is to say, every element that will be situated here will represent the P block. And that is why they are called the P block elements. That is for P. Now the next one is called the D block. The D block are the groups that are found between group 2 and group 3. We call them the D block. So in this case, between groups 2 and group 3, we have the D block. You can see series of elements that are found between group 2 and group 3. And these are the elements. So elements that are found here, we call them the D block. They are elements that are found in between groups 2 and groups 3. And then finally, for this video, we have the F block. The F block, they are mainly found, when you consider the periodic table, you see sets of elements that are found separately. They are found separately, although they are parts of the periodic table, but they are separated. And the reason is because the periodic table is really large in such a way that it cannot fit into a normal size paper. So these elements are being brought out to one side, but they are also parts of the periodic table. They are found on this axis. SPD, these set of elements are where we have the lanthanides and the actinide series, which are the inner transition elements. They are known as the F block. So they are called the F block electrons. And the reason is because they consist of the S, P, D, and also the F electrons in their outermost shell, in their elements. So that is how to identify each of these blocks. So group 1 and 2, they are called the S block elements. Group 3 to 7 and 0, they are known as the P block elements. In between group 2 and group 3, we have the D block elements. And then in between group 2 and group 3, along period 6 and 7 in the modern periodic table, we have the F block elements. I'm sure this video is helpful and we got value. If you're new to this channel, please do well to like, subscribe, and share my videos for more persons to see. In my next video, I shall be discussing the trends of the periodic table, both down the group and across the period. See you next time. Bye for now.